Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio. Brought to you by OnPay, Atlanta's new standard in payroll. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Atlanta Business Radio, and this is going to be a good one. But before we get started, it's important to recognize our sponsor, OnPay. Without them, we could not be sharing these important stories. Today on Atlanta Business Radio, we have Salah Harrell with the law office of Salah Harrell. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm excited to learn what you're up to. Tell us about your law practice. Who you serving?
So I am a small boutique law firm here in Atlanta. October will make a year since we've been in business. I specialize in business law and personal injury law. So we serve individuals. Our motto is that we help you with your business and personal problems. So we assist individuals who have been injured in car accidents, slip and falls. And also we do some negligent security cases. And the business law aspect of things, I help people form their businesses. I draft contracts, whether that is an employee handbook or an independent contractor agreement, whatever type of contract you need to help your business flow, to run smoothly. I assist individuals with those matters. I also do some trademark filings. And so, yeah, we're busy and we're assisting you with both your business and personal needs.
Now, what's your backstory? Did you go right from graduation to starting your own firm, or did you work with other firms previously? What's your kind of path?
So my backstory, I worked at a personal injury firm for 2 years here in Atlanta before I started my own practice back in October of last year. So that's my experience. I'm fairly new. I'm a fairly new attorney. I just, spent time there really learning the ins and outs. And that firm was unique in the sense that most attorneys were running our own firms. And so that really, we had a lot of freedom, and we could build in systems that allowed us to work more efficiently. And so I felt like I had grasped, both the business and legal aspect of things. And so I left and went out on my own.
Now, when you were kind of going through the decision of, okay, should I go out on my own since I'm doing a lot of the work anyway, was that something that, like when you were in school, do they prepare you for that? Or do they kind of spend most of their time teaching you how to be an attorney and not so much of how to run a business where you're an attorney?
Right. So that's a good question. Most of our courses are just legal, just learning the law. But I did take a course my last year of law school called Business. It was Law Practice Management. And that course was, geared or directed to people who wanted to start their own firms. We literally created a business plan, a model. We determined how we would get clients, and it was really just like a real world situation. Each class was just geared towards teaching us how to efficiently run a law practice.
So now that you're actually doing it, was that pretty accurate? Was that helpful going through that? Or is it kind of you're still on that learning curve of how to operate the business of being an attorney? I'm sure you have the attorneying part down, but the business part's a little trickier.
Right. And yeah, so I don't think anything can really prepare you for it until you're in it. Of course, the more experience you have, it's helpful, but I learn things every day. I'm definitely seeking help from my mentors, people who have been running law practices longer than me. And so they definitely help. I'm always reaching out, asking questions. And I like to say every day, presents its own problems. And with business, I just have to, I basically divide my days. One half of the day is spent on, running the business or making sure things are intact. And then the other half of the day is spent on, client matters and legal matters. So I'm learning every day. That's my motto.
So now, any advice for other folks that are kind of on that same path as you are? Is there things that you wish you had done earlier, or are there things that you say, oh, you got to do more of this and less of that?
I would advise people to really sit down and make a business plan or at least some type of model. Determine where you're going to get clients from if you haven't already established a clientele. Determine how you're going to market yourself and your firm. Are you going to pay for marketing? Are you going to, utilize social media and, or free advertising? Like, you actually need to have a plan so that you're not spending time, when you start your business trying to go back and rebrand and figure out how you're going to do these things while trying to keep your business afloat. So I would definitely say planning is key. I did not do that in the beginning. I just jumped out there. So I would definitely say take the time to plan, talk to folks, make sure you have a pretty solid foundation before taking that next leap. And not everything has to be perfect. I don't want to, definitely don't want to tell people that I don't think everything's ever perfect or there's, ever a perfect time, but definitely make sure you do proper planning.
Now, in your business of personal injury, you're competing with a lot of folks who own a lot of billboards.
Right.
And I would imagine that's a challenge because those folks seem to be everywhere. And every time you look up, literally, when you're driving a car, you're seeing probably one of your competitors that probably have a lot more resources than you have. Right. How do you kind of compete with people that seem to have a lot of marketing dollars to spend at trying to get their next client?
Well, I think the thing is, I don't try to compete with them. I think I run my own race. Right now, I'm in the building phase, and a lot of my referrals have been, well, a lot of my personal injury clientels have been referrals just from, working at my prior law firm and people referring, those clients referring family and friends to me. And I think, what sets me apart is you can speak directly to me at those firms on billboards. Usually there's a case manager or a paralegal or a legal assistant that you're speaking to. But I think that my firm is unique in the sense that you get to communicate directly with your attorney who is handling your case on a day-to-day basis. So if there was anything, that set me apart from them, that would be the thing right now. And also, like I said, I think that the attention to detail and my just compassion for my clients, I think that's what sets me apart from my competition.
Now, what's kind of the split of your time regarding business clients versus personal injury clients?
It's about a 60-40 split. So personal injury is about 60% of my practice, and then the business and trademark law is about 40%. I do actually advertise I've started advertising for the business law aspect of my practice. So I'm starting to build a clientele there. And that's where I am currently. It's about a 60-40 split.
Now, what is kind of your business clients? Are they coming in? Is there a typical point of entry where they come and say, I'm going to have to speak with Salah? Is there something that you're doing like incorporation or trademark? Is there some kind of beginning ground? What's the first thing that they're coming to you for, the business clients?
Okay, so typically, a lot of them have already actually established businesses. They've, formed their business entity. Most of them are coming to me for different types of contracts and agreements, and also trademark filing. They want to, protect their brands now that they have them up and running. And so that's where I kind of find myself right now. And I've had a couple of breach of contract cases that I'm handling as well. So I think I'm getting clients like they've already established their business and now they're finding themselves having issues, or they want to, make sure they have, they're protecting themselves.
So it's some sort of a contract, whether it's drawing up a contract or kind of getting clarification on where that contract is right now.
Right.
So now, I know you're doing this relatively for a short period of time, but has there been something that's happened that you can share with our listeners where maybe you did help somebody through a challenge, that you helped them kind of work through something that helped really better themselves, whether it's their business or themselves?
Sure. So I can definitely
Yeah, don't name any names or anything, but maybe
okay.
maybe explain the challenge that they had, and then you were able to intervene and how you helped them get to a new level.
Okay. So this was a very small business, and it's still relatively small. She started a cosmetics and beauty line. And she didn't like have any direction. So I helped her like form a business plan. We actually went through and, and structured some type of business plan. I then helped her, do her business filing or file with the Georgia Secretary of State, and make sure she had all of the proper, documents filed. And then we filed her federal trademark, and now she has a federal trademark protection. And her business is taking off. She's on social media, and she's just is flourishing. And I'm happy to be, a part of that journey. And I can't wait to see what she does next. But it's been that was one of the most rewarding, aspects of this, I think, entire process. I think that's why I started, and that's why I kind of started leaning towards business law. I definitely wanted to help entrepreneurs like myself, and just direct people. A lot of people don't know where to start when it comes to business, but they know they want to. And so for me to be that direction, to be that guide, it's definitely a rewarding experience.
So now, looking forward, as hopefully we're coming out of this pandemic, what do you see kind of coming up for you as you grow your practice?
Well, definitely. Right now I'm hiring another legal assistant. So that's the next step, making sure I have staff in place to help me efficiently and effectively run this firm. Continuing to grow, I think take more courses, whether that's business law courses or trademark courses, just to make sure I'm at my very best and up to date on the law. I want to, network with other attorneys more, so join more professional organizations so that I am networking with my colleagues, and just overall growth, putting myself out there, creating, social media platforms for my firm, and eventually, hopefully, hiring another attorney within the next 2 years, if everything is going well. So that's where I am, or sooner than that, if everything's going well. So those are my, short-term plans.
Well, if somebody wants to learn more about your practice and get a hold of you, maybe to have a conversation about their business, or if they did have something happen to them where they need help in the personal injury side, what is the website?
So my website is www.salahharrell.com. You can email me from the website. We could schedule a consultation. You can always give me a phone call. If I don't answer, I return calls within 48 hours. Those are the best ways to contact me.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story today. You're doing important work, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. This is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on Atlanta Business Radio.